it's Jamie at Remington Lane Crochet, and I am here with a tutorial on the foundation double crochet stitch. Now this is what the completed stitch looks like, and we're going to talk about how to get it done. But first, you might be wondering why you want to do this stitch, what it really is. So the foundation double crochet is where you make your foundation chain and your double crochet stitches in the first row all at the same time. There's no long chains to make and then come back with your double crochets. You're just doing it all in one stitch. And I think it's a really big time saver. And I also like the finish of it. So if we look at this, it's pretty stretchy, flexible, both on the top and the bottom. And I have, for reference here, one that I made with a standard starting chain and then came back and did double crochet stitches. You can see they look pretty similar. You can see the bottom of my chains here looks a little different than this. I like that the bottom of the foundation double crochet looks a lot like the top. So when you're making a blanket or garments or something like that, that you want to have a nice, like, symmetrical look to your piece. Also, if you were to take the one with the chains and try and stretch that, the chains don't really stretch very far, but the top does. Unlike this one, it's pretty equal stretch. So that's when you make a blanket. If you make all the long chains, the bottom is a little bit stiffer than the top. It's not a big deal. It's just a personal preference, but that's just something to be aware of and why I think you should give this stitch a try. To get started, we're gonna do a slip knot. And we're going to chain 2. This is gonna be the side of your first foundation double crochet. It's not actually gonna count as a stitch. And I'll show you here when we get done what that looks like. So just like a regular double crochet, let's yarn over, insert our hook into, we made 2 chains. The second chain, the one farthest from your hook, the one right by the slip knot, that's where you're gonna insert your hook. And you're gonna yarn over and pull up a loop. And so far we look like a regular double crochet stitch, but here's where we make it a foundation double crochet. We have to make the chain 1 and then the double crochet stitch. So chain 1, and then finish out your double crochet. So yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And this is gonna be, this top loop's a little loose, but this is gonna be the first double crochet stitch. And I know this one looks like a big blob and it looks like a super bulky stitch, but I'll show you when we get done with the second row here that it will not turn out that way. So you're gonna insert your hook into, there's a V here that the chain 1 that we made, that it makes, you're gonna insert your hook into the middle of those. And then if I turn it to the side, there's an upside down V with this loop and this loop. So I wanna insert it in the middle here, but I also wanna insert under this back loop right here in that V. So it's a little tricky. I think that's the hardest part of the stitch. So if we can master that, we're in pretty good shape. So yarn over, go in that V, and then stick it through, and make sure you have 2 loops that you've stuck your hook under. Then we're gonna yarn over, pull up a loop, and then remember, make the chain 1, and then make your double crochet as normal. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's your second stitch. Foundation stitches are worked vertically rather than horizontally. So that's something to keep aware of. And that's why I like to look for the middle of this V, because I'm staring right at it. So yarn over, insert my hook, make sure I pick up the back loop. So I I'll back that up and go a little slower. I insert my hook and I kind of use my finger here to guide my hook and make sure that I pick up that back loop of the chains. pull up a loop, yarn over, chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Let's do it again. Yarn over, insert my hook, and pull up a loop. When I'm pulling up the loop, I like to hold my hook perpendicular to my work and make sure that that loop that I pull, that foundation chain loop that I pull up, is the same height across. That'll help make it not so tight here at the bottom. Sometimes when you get done, your foundation chain can curve a little bit, and loosening up those loops that you pull up in the beginning can really help keep that curve from happening. So pull up a loop, chain 1, pull up a loop, or yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Let's make a couple more. Chain 1, finish out my double crochet. I really like using this technique wherever I can because it just feels like I'm going much faster. When I get done, I've made all the foundation chains and all of the double crochets at the, in the first row, and then you're ready to go. Let's do one more, and then we'll look at row 2 here. And if you count wrong, if you count your stitches wrong, you can really easily add more or take some out. Unlike if you mess up your starting chain, you might have to rip out the whole thing. I have to do that often, so I prefer this method as well. So here is the first row. Let's count our stitches. Remember, this first stitch, these chain 2s are the side, so we're just looking at the top. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can also feel the post, but you'll notice that the top is looking a lot like the bottom. It's that nice stretchy look that we're going for. So I'm going to insert my hook. I'm going to go to row 2, chain 2, and turn. And I'm just going to double crochet all the way across so you can see how nicely the ends are here. It'll be nice and straight. Okay, get back to my last stitch. Again, remember this was kind of a blob. I have a loose, pretty loose top loop here, so I might try and make that tighter next time, but double crochet into that. Take out my hook, and you can see, I'll pull this tighter so we can see. You can see that that edge is pretty straight here, no different than the second row on just regular chains and then double crochets all the way back. So there you have it. Let me know what you think about the foundation double crochet stitch. I'd love to hear what projects you're making with it. If you don't have any, I will link to some down below that you can use this stitch for. And I would love to chat, and stay tuned for the next videos. Be sure to like and share this video, subscribe so that others can find these videos as well.